All right, welcome everybody. Welcome back to the ofaxeandale podcast. I am your host, Muksama. We are joined today by our two other co-hosts. We got Riley.
Transgender Nick Mullen.
We got transgender Nick Mullen. We've got...
that'd be Smuggi. I am not transgender.
We got bisexual Stavros, bald and tall.
Yeah, they put me on the rack and Ozempic at the same time.
And your host with the most demisexual erectile dysfunction, Adam Friedland.
This is exactly... Sorry, I'm going to bring this up for a second.
Friedland?
Is that Adam Friedland?
No, I
don't think so. I think Adam Friedland.
I'm going to bring this up
I don't want to
because I think the most correct one out of it all is you being Adam Friedland or whatever.
That's crazy.
Because you are the kind of piece of shit that would go to a coffee shop and then not get your friend what they asked for.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie to you. I heard the coffee story and I agree with Adam Friedland. I'm not getting you a coffee if I go to the fucking coffee shop and you don't ask me directly. I'm not getting it. I'm just not. If you're like, hey, can you pick me up a coffee? I'll get you a coffee.
Literally not. It's like, oh, hey, do they have like sandwiches? I'm pretty sure this is the exact bit. They were like, do you have any sandwiches? Like, no, they don't got that. And then they called the place, Riley.
Oh,
and then they had the
no, I wouldn't lie to you. I would just I'm more confrontational in that regard. I would just be like, I'm not getting you a sandwich. I would just straight up say that to you, and then you'd get upset because I'm honest and based and like real and
that's what it is. Chad.
Yeah, I'm
based honesty. God damn it! Why is that funny to me? Fuck.
Yeah, because I'm honest and you're not capable of handling my feelings. If I
said what I was thinking right now, let's just say I would be. The big eye would be looking at me funny.
We found a new Ayatollah. That's one of my favorite videos recently. I had people in real life reference that video to me. You know what I'm talking about, Riley?
No clue.
There's a video of a guy who's driving behind a Ford 450. And he's just yelling while on the highway, being like, Benjamin Netanyahu! I found the new Ayatollah! He is driving a Ford 450! He's in front of me.
Please, I'll give you everything, Netanyahu!
Send ballistic missiles to this location right now! Yeah. Yeah, that's a good bit.
I don't know why that reminds me of like the video of the guy shouting at like the truck with the Zins trucks, like, God, if you're with me, flip that motherfucker right now.
I remember
you
that.
My boy, God, you flip that son of a bitch now.
Why do I remember that? Did you post that to us or something?
I must have posted that ages
crazy.
ago, probably.
That's crazy. I remember I've seen variations of that one too.
I know the original one's about a Twinkie truck.
Yeah,
the Zin truck one is the one that makes me laugh the hardest when I see it.
Yeah.
I was about to.
And the funny thing too is that's like I think that's like the third video I've seen of somebody like being like, Netanyahu, please bomb this car in front of me.
Yeah,
that's like the third one, and they're all funny. They're all good.
Yeah,
I think it's one of those ones where it's like the Eagles were losing to the Cowboys. It's like Netanyahu. I like it, Netanyahu. The Cowboys defensive squadron has a secret Iranian agent.
I was saying this the entire. I was literally the Super Bowl man. I'm like the Patriots. The Patriots are going to get in there and they're going to cheat. But I guess they just had bigger fish to fry with like the AI videos and stuff coming around.
No, brother. I'm telling you so much. I can count on my hand 6 different times. Because I'm
6 different digits.
Yeah, on all 6 different fingers. I can count right now on one hand. I can count like when the NFL was obviously rigged in that moment, but like it's too big to rig. I think there are too big to rig moments. Like when they called back the touchdown this last season, when who was it? New York called in, or Las Vegas called in to have it retracted. That's crazy. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? It was like maybe like a Lions game or something. It was the
Yeah,
Detroit
it's something
Lions.
like that. I can kind of vaguely remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's too big to
I
rig.
just remember watching one of the playoff games or whatever with like my family or something, and it was just like every third ad. It was every ad was either AI or sports betting, and I'm like, oh man,
Crazy.
this is like the base for the slop nexus. I hate it.
Yeah.
I'm actually so...
TV's not fun anymore, and that's really terrible. You used to be able to see fun commercials, and now all you see is bummer commercials.
Speaking of which, there is something that came up recently, and I'm like, I'm okay with that happening. You know, when and this might be like because I have a mushy brain or something, but like, you know, when you're watching a movie on a streaming service now, and then like when you pause the streaming service, it'll present to you like an ad, not like a video, but just like an ad off to the side, like it's an infomercial or something. Like, I'm okay with that. If that's all I had to do for ads, I'd be so okay with just like whenever I pause a movie, I get a promotion for something. Like, that's fine. It's not playing, it's not moving.
You're a castrated little fucking piggy.
No, I'm saying I'd take that over top of like the commercials that are like a minute long, and it's like, God bless the USA. I love my Chevy truck.
America coin.
I don't know if you've seen this, but the damn New York Times at their fucking Wordle, they forced the ads to be 15 seconds now. They used to be 5.
See, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. I just want it to be like the old internet when you would just see it on the side, you know?
Well, yeah.
I don't know. I've seen one website that like every time I tried to go on it on my phone, it would literally crash the browser every time because it's trying to load 5 different like pull up and banner ads that are they're like invading the screen. It reminds me of like you're playing Tetris 99 and the gray blocks kind of shunt up or something like that, or Pop or something. Little gray blocks shunt up and permanently make the screen size smaller. But it's like,
yeah, I had that happen to me literally today, and I don't remember exactly what it was. But as soon as it happened, it was 2 of the same ads taking both the bottom half and the top half of my screen.
See, that's
and
crazy.
I had to hit the X button in order to like actually even navigate the site at all. And I said, I'm not doing this. And then I completely forgot about what I was even trying to do because I just turned my brain off and didn't care anymore.
Maybe we can start an initiative to like make non-intrusive ads a thing on services. I think that would be sick. That would be amazing. Because when I had it happen to me, it was so non-intrusive. I was like, this is kind of cute. You know, I was like, oh, this is what advertising used to be like. Like, it would just be like a quick little, hey, look at this. And then you'd be like, oh, no, I'm good. And then you'd go back to your movie or your show or whatever. Or, well, back in the day, you'd go back to playing like, you know, your third variation of the same game on like addictinggames.com or whatever. But, but like, like I was watching Juno, and that was like, and that did make me think of simpler times. I've never thought of a movie like that ever in my life until I watched Juno, where like you get that sinking feeling of nostalgia where like back in the day, the Romans would say you have a mental disorder. And I was like, yeah, no, it's true. This for sure is.
Speaking of like nostalgia, I do think that there's a certain point where it's like, you do have the mental disorder and the Romans are completely right and you need to be thrown to the lion or whatever. But like, I think if you don't long for a better time in your life, like whether it be nostalgic or something, you're missing something, I think. You're probably not true. Like, you probably lack the will to see a better life because you knew exactly how it was. Like, and I think it's like the two sides of it, right? Like, if you don't do it, like, you lack the will to see a better future, and if you do it, you kind of have the same thing, and you, like, I don't exactly know how I'm supposed to phrase it here. It's like two sides of the same coin, kind of. Where, like, if you don't do it, like, you can't make the world better because you probably don't understand like what makes a human experience enjoyable and like fond and like having a longing for something that you used to have happen to your life that you just can't have anymore for some reason. And then like, but if you do have nostalgia, like you probably don't have the drive to make anything better in certain aspects and like just poo-poo most things rather than taking it for what it is. I think there's two sides.
That there's that like the middle would be like looking back on something like whimsically and being like, yeah, this is really cool, and then being like, it should be that way for others as well, and constructively work towards it, versus like you said, like, oh, nothing was good actually, nothing can get better, or the fascist way of doing it, which is just like not like either A, longing for a time that didn't really exist, or B, you just want to be 12 years old forever and you want to like sit in your room with Ghostbusters merchandise or
like
something.
There's like layers to it. I don't think nostalgia itself is inherently an evil trait, but I do think that it's definitely.
I think
I don't
you can
particularly
for sure.
get stuff.
No, I was just going to say, I think you can definitely for sure be like, I think nostalgia is one of those things where it can detrimentally affect your life very easily if you lean into it, which I see why it's like a mental illness. But I also think like, I agree with you. I think if you ain't got the human spirit to make things better and try to achieve a newfound happiness that didn't exist previously, you just ain't fucking living, bro. And I think you're messed up in the head, bro. I think you should be taken out back, and we should
we should look into like how to do something like that, like with the ad stuff, like how to like for websites and stuff, like try to put forth like a thing to where like you can't do these fucking intrusive ads anymore. Like,
wait, yeah, I mean that would be sick if we could do that. I'd be down.
I don't know how like it. Could you even make it like a statewide thing?
Yeah, you can.
Oh,
you just
you can federal communication.
There's no way we could do it in the U.S. because we're all corrupt.
No. You
beings. But like,
I mean, we used to have like ideas and like like you'd have like memos and notes for like the Federal Communications Bureau or whatever, and like like. People tried to think about these ways of like how to advertise and stuff, but like a lot of that stuff did get torn down and like whittled down from like the Reagan era on downwards, Yeah. Like once you start being like, I think there is a God, I can't remember where it was, but it's like basically like a whole study and like a whole political thing that talks about like, once you start like whittling away like protections of how you can advertise and talk to kids, that's when it starts get like a red flag should go up and be like, yeah, like once you try to like make it so like you can just do whatever you want to the most vulnerable people in society, like children or like, others like addicts or something. That's when like, okay, well, basically there's no protections at all,
Yeah, it's like it's used as a scapegoat to get rid of your other protections. Yeah. Right? Am I following along with you?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I was saying, have you watched Juno?
No.
You neither of you have watched. Okay, I'm not gonna lie.
I mean,
okay, no.
If I've watched Juno, it's in like bits and pieces. I've like what little I have watched. It's like
you've watched it on
it's
TikTok
been so long.
With the narrator.
I kind of just remember. I do this. I remember the same fucking thing. 3 things that everybody
YouTube
about, like the burger phone and whatever. But it's like
you watch
Riley's like
narration.
me with YouTube Shorts with fucking Family Guy and Peaky Blinders.
For me, it's for TV, right? It would come on like FX or USA or something like that, and I'd like watch bits and pieces of it before being like, this is boring and switching over,
I think that both of you should watch Juno. I think it actually might be one of the most real to life movies I have seen of like probably I wouldn't say our era, but I'd say maybe like 2 years before. Like, how much older are you than Smuggi?
I think like 4 years at least.
I think it would be perfect.
When did Juno come out? That came out in 2007. Yeah.
I think it would be perfect for me. This is Riley did groom you, and by actually Riley groomed both of us in that regard.
You're disgusting.
Yeah, I can't
You
believe
groomed two brothers.
Can't believe you would do something like that. But just saying, Juno is without a doubt the most, yes, this is exactly how life was at that time. Like watching it, I'm like, I remember growing up in this era, like the post this era. It how they talk, how they interact, what they reference, everything. I was like, this is so weird. It really changed my perspective on like growing up and whatnot. Because I do think that, and I don't think this is nostalgia. I think everybody here agrees that everything has degraded, and that is not as fun as it used to be anymore to just be a child. Because I noticed this on the tail end of my childhood experience.
Yeah. I mean, I would say that that's true-ish. I would say for me, it's harder to describe. I didn't grow up in a place with places for children. Like I grew up in the country, which in and of itself is like a little bit more like, oh yeah, you're fucking around in the woods and yada yada and doing all this other stuff, et cetera, et cetera.
Well, we didn't really grow up in we're in a city, but we didn't really I don't know how to describe that. I think it's like suburban living.
We didn't grow up in a place where we had things we could do. We grew up in a place where we had other children to hang out with to do stuff.
You were gonna say other children to do. Why we all heard it.
That's not what I was going to say. That's what Riley was thinking.
I think that I guess it's fair in a certain sense. I didn't have that either. Again, middle of nowhere, the country.
Yeah.
But I kind of agree in a sense that it's undoubted that there are less places for kids to go and for kids to do things, and there's less spaces for children that aren't just like the Wild West as far as who can invade it and hurt them. There are less people who seem to care about what happens to kids.
Yeah. Yeah, I think mainly nowadays it just seems like it's less places to go to with your friends when there's nothing to do. More rules for going out and being able to do shit. They closed, Walmart stopped opening all night when I finally got my driver's license, basically. It was maybe a year of being able to go there 24/7 to go get drinks or chips or hang out with my friends, And
movie theaters got way more expensive. They try to nickel and dime you for shit way harder now. They just shifted a lot of the cost of going to the movies up front,
Yeah. I'm not going to lie to you either. I didn't we didn't have go do stuff experiences a lot of our childhood. We were just kind of running around. If you ever watch Rugrats, that's a pretty good
Yeah. I mean, I feel you on that as well. But I'm just saying from every perspective, it's everything is very nickel and dimey. There aren't good places that are just that you could just take kids to. A lot of people are way more fucking sensitive about children existing in their space. The child, the r/child free kind of shit, where it's just people just freak the fuck out.
I would never have a kid. I hate those little snot nosed bastards.
It's not just I would never have a kid. It's hating children. Period.
Yeah.
Really genuinely despising kids, where it's the social expectation of no, kids are an essential part of society, and they should be protected and cared for.
Yeah, they should be cherished
from a communal perspective on down. You should give a fuck if there's a child.
Yeah, Yeah, I
don't know. I just think those people are
child.
To say what I'm thinking, I think the people who are like that with kids are exactly like the people are the same people as the people in Richmond when we go there that don't pick up the dog shit on the sidewalk.
No,
They're the same people.
This is a great overlap. I'm glad you bring this up. There are people out there who are dog people, and then when you talk about cats, they're like, I think all cats should be killed point blank.
And they start talking about like, oh, they literally warp your mind with this parasite.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you guys?
It's the same mental disorder. Yeah. It's like the same thing, because it's like, oh well, having. Yeah, I don't know. It's like the expectation that something has to be excited to see you all the time and be your little thing. You know what I mean?
Panda fucking like said that a while ago with like kids. It's like, yeah, when you have a kid, they like calcify your pineal gland or something like that, and you get dumber. And I'm like, how does that even happen? How does that happen? How does your body as a male know that this happens to you? You're not even the one giving childbirth, brother.
I'm gonna
go insane.
It's just. I don't know how to describe what I was like trying to like say that isn't like so like a lot of people who like I would say this, like a lot of people who like do on the flip side like seem to claim to care about children are only doing so as a way of like harming others and like a tribalism sort of way. Like you don't actually give a shit about like the safety of kids. You see children as like the like a clone of yourself that is your property.
Yes.
You're going to use as a cudgel and not like I am giving birth to another human and I am trying to raise them to respect and be able to exist in the world with other humans to build a society.
Yeah, this is hitting my deep core insecurity of how I was raised. I think everybody who's like a boomer or Gen X basically raised a child to be like, they have to be an extension of me. They're not an individual person. They have to do exactly what I say so, or they have to be exactly like me, or I will degrade them at any point. Now, of course, this isn't everyone, because we're humans.
I think that like that happened because of like a simultaneous idea of like what a society is basically changed for like the worse. Like society does not exist, people exist is the most poisonous thought that like boomers came up with of all time. Like you are, it's not like you're a servant for other people, but it's like there is a minimum amount that you owe others as also like fellow human beings.
Yeah, I agree.
And they're just like, nuh-uh is their answer to that.
Yeah.
Like it makes me confused at when it even came about, because like even with like the modern suburbia, like of the like late 90s, the 20s, early 2000s, like the aughts or whatever, like all these families, even in like suburban homes and like streets and cul-de-sacs and shit, they all interacted with each other.
Yeah,
they still interacted with each other. They gave each other like they'd go and their kids would hang out or something like that. They would ask each other for fucking sugar.
It's
and
definitely
stuff.
a slow poison. I think it's like a double-edged sword of like a lot of the individualist stuff in the 80s was there and kind of like always simmering in the background, just like a slow poison, like one of those like slow release vials that slowly get boiled away in another chemical or whatever. And then like the 2001 put a big ass fracture point in that leached a lot of bad shit into the system. And like,
what happened then?
I want to say about the Trump administration thing really burnt the social contract to the fucking ground. And I don't want to sound like a Hillary lib, but like, no, man, like a guy up on stage being like, all of your vices are virtues. Being nice to people is gay and cucked. You've got to kill everybody forever. Like that is a poison that incinerates your want and need to build a society. Like if there was a hangover, like a holdover of like some value that was still holding people back from giving into the horrible libidinal nightmare sludge, it was somebody being at least nice, at least decent enough to be like, let's back off. Because even like someone like John McCain, a evil sludge man, when the Republicans at the end of the Bush administration were like, we can still be in power, we should make it illegal for gays to do anything, was like, hey now, pump the fucking brakes. That's a fucking idiot idea. We're not doing that. That's too far. And making it the Republican Party's like whole thing in 2008 being like, that's a bit much.
John McCain
and
was like,
even then there's that tiny little thin veneer of decency because they wanted to play the game and because the social contract still existed. But then again, by the Tea Party movement and 2012, Republicans got way nastier and sludgier. Mitt Romney, the one guy, I don't remember which dude in the Republican primary who was like, gays are evil and we should kill them all, on the fucking Republican, debate stage. But by the time Trump comes in, that whole movement, boom,
the homo movement,
social contract in the fucking ashes.
Yeah, John McCain was smart enough to be like, well, hold on now, gays vote for us.
That was kind of his whole bit, was like, you fucking idiots, gays have money. We need them to buy things.
Yeah.
The housing market just crashed, you dullards. We need money.
Mr.
Because he's like a
Burns.
neocon. That's his whole thing. Is like, the economy has to keep going, dumbass. The gays have college degrees and money now.
Mr. Burns being like, yes, I heard that they like to gather places, so I've built this club and named it the Pink Club. Yes.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
But we still need to build things and have a social contract because that makes us money, you fucking idiots. And then
but what happened
the Tea
in
Party chuds
2001?
basically
Yeah, what happened in 2001? What happened in 2001? What changed in 2001?
You said what?
9/11.
Oh!
Yeah, 9/11. A terror attack is gonna fucking do it. The terror attack and every news organization basically screaming at the top of their lungs, all Muslims are evil, kill, 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 is gonna do a terrible thing to the social contract.
Killed it, and they're the new
It is an irreparable fracture down the center of it that never healed. Even in the Obama years, it's just no. It's Obama was the most normal, white meat motherfucker ever. And it was still too much for them. It still broke all of their brains forever that a black guy got in.
Yeah, I
mean, social contract. If Obama had gotten elected in 2004, I don't think any of them would have cared.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Or even if Obama had somehow magically been transported to you time travel Obama back to 2001 and he gets in and he somehow gets elected in 2001. I genuinely don't think any of the Republicans would have blinked. And if the terror attack in 2001 happens and Obama is the guy to lead us into the global war on terror, they would all be like, yeah, this black guy knows what he's talking about. We got to kill all those Muslims. And they wouldn't care. But George Bush and the news media basically just going nuts on anyone that is not white for 8 years.
Yeah.
To read a fucking book about Japanese culture in my class, and they were getting everything about why it was popular in the 2000s and 2001 to 4 or whatever completely wrong. And I'm I don't understand how someone who was engaging in this culture enough to write a book about it is just the dumbest person in the world.
It's sort of why
I think a lot of it is academia circles. It's you just get a popular idea and you just run with it instead of what actually happened being investigated, because it's way easier to go off of somebody else's work. Basically, it stems down to every issue that we have in academia or in news media, which is it's so much easier to not do your job.
Yeah, I mean, once you get tenured, you could just basically just fuck off. That's kind of the goal, ain't it? Yeah, man, I wanna get tenured and fuck off forever.
Imagine if all you had to do is say the Vietnam War